My name is Michelle. I am 42 years old, and I am a stage 2B ovarian cancer survivor. When I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, the mission of Tina's Wish became very personal for me. I was being treated for chronic fatigue syndrome for 4 years. My doctors thought it was the anxiety and sadness that I felt after my father's passing. I had excruciating pain in my pelvic area. Finally, I walked over to my gynecologist's office and I said, "Put me in for a pelvic ultrasound." Within an hour of the test, my phone rang and it was my gynecologist. She said the radiologist called her immediately that there was a 6-inch there was a large mass, 6 inches in diameter, on my right ovary. I just couldn't believe it. I had a lot of doctors telling me nothing was wrong, and then I get this phone call, and it's like your whole world turns upside down.
I would say I diagnose it at least 4 to 6 times every month. And unfortunately, the vast majority of the time, I diagnose ovarian cancer at a late stage. Although there are symptoms of early disease, they're not often picked up quickly. And I have a lot of stories of women going to multiple providers and getting told that they're just going through menopause or they're just having low back pain and they should just come back if it gets worse. And unfortunately, by the time they come back, they have advanced stage disease. So if I have someone who comes in with stage 1 disease, I have a close to 90% cure rate at 5 years. Unfortunately, if someone comes to me at stage 3 disease, my cure rate goes down to about 27%. There is absolutely a need for better early detection methods for ovarian cancer.
And Ross samples from MD Anderson. Fundamentally, what we're trying to do with Tina's Wish is come up with a way to diagnose ovarian cancer before women have any symptoms of the disease. What we've been looking at are the levels of very small pieces of genetic material called micro-RNAs in the blood. We have found that these micro-RNAs can distinguish those women who have cancer from those who don't.
The reason this is a unique project is these new class of molecules, micro-RNAs, haven't been looked at in this context before.
We're using the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning to analyze these micro-RNAs. We're telling the computer, find the micro-RNAs that identify a pattern which we see in the women with ovarian cancer, but we don't see in women without that diagnosis. I think the first aha moment was when we looked at that initial group of patients that we had been collecting blood samples on before surgery, and just as a shot in the dark decided to look to see if the microRNA profiles were different. It actually ended up being only 9 microRNAs that we needed to distinguish women who had ovarian cancer from those who didn't have ovarian cancer.
Micro-RNAs telling us who has cancer and who doesn't with 93% accuracy, that's a big moment.
Yeah. And for the first time, we were able to show a test that worked almost as well for patients with stage 1 disease as for women with advanced stage disease. And so we want to pick up ovarian cancers in women as part of an annual physical.
And the simplicity of this test and the cost would really make this global. And absolutely, there's no way we would have been there without Tina's Wish. Not even close.
It's time to put on makeup. It's time to light the lights. It's time to have my last round of chemo in my life. Boom, boom, boom.
So I had my surgery and I did 6 rounds of chemo and the chemo worked. I got the NED, which is no evidence of disease, and left the hospital and jumped up and down and was very happy.
When we started this project, it was just fascinating to bring together the fields of cancer biology and engineering.
I met Doug and he said, we need to detect cancer early. We need a sensor. And I said, that's great, we do that.
So this is a biosonicator.
Our research is focused on trying to detect ovarian cancer biomarkers through nanosensors that reside in the uterus to figure out how to catch ovarian cancer really at its earliest possible stages.
There's great need, and we have a potential solution that we could make with our nanotechnology. Nanotechnology is a field of study of materials that are about 100,000 times smaller than the diameter of a human hair. If we could implant just a tiny amount of these carbon nanotubes, we could get a signal from the body and transmit it out of the body on a beam of light. And that signal, if we could make it sensitive to cancer cells, we could be detecting cancer biomarkers in real time, and it would be giving you a constant blood test to detect things that could potentially indicate a disease.
You know, this type of pseudo science fiction is really a reality, and Tina's Wish has really been able to facilitate this interaction.
Tina's Wish definitely played a role in my own journey and self-awareness. It's going to be a hard journey, but it's going to be an amazing journey.
What we're trying to do with Tina's Wish is push frontiers for what early diagnosis can even look like. This is a chance for ovarian cancer and gynecological cancers in general to really take the lead for the whole cancer community.
One of the most difficult parts of cancer research in general is funding. The amount of support we get for ovarian cancer research is directly proportional to the amount of progress that we made.
It's so important that early detection gets the place it deserves in cancer research. There is a lot of focus on drug discovery, sophisticated methods of surgery, and they're all super important. But early detection seems to be the stepchild of cancer biologists.
Tina's Wish really is the leading organization for funding early diagnosis work in ovarian cancer. There's no other group with this kind of focus and with the range of efforts on this one cause.